committed to snacks. Hello and welcome to the Roll Report, where we are committed to snacks and we start our episodes crunching on chips. I didn't know.
No
feel
more
like
crunches
it was,
for us?
No more crunches. My name is Colin. I am your DM. I use he and they pronouns. I am joined, as always, by my heroic trio. Hello, heroic trio.
Hello.
Hello.
Please introduce yourselves. Not all at once.
I was hoping we were all going to do it at once, actually.
Oh.
That's a good idea. All right. On three, everybody at once. 1, 2, 3. Hey, I'm Ben.
Pronouns.
My pronouns are he, him. My character is there.
All right. To my left.
Hi, my name's Kaya. I play Rivulet Starfish. And I use they, them pronouns and she, her. And Rivulet's a she, her. And she's also a princess. She's the 7th princess of nautical, not Atlantis. She's a druid and bard.
Hi, my name is Fenner. I play our favorite human, Galen. Galen. Galen's a guy, you know. Fenner.
He's a guy.
Hi, I'm Fenner. I use they, them pronouns. And Galen, he uses those he, him pronouns. You know, it kind of sounds like he's from the Bronx sometimes.
Sometimes he does. I feel like it's the octopus accent.
It's the octopus. It is. Yeah, people don't realize that, but octopuses have a really aggressive dialect. Yeah. They often are misinterpreted as yelling, but it's just kind of like how they talk.
Yeah. And
This is Ben. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing a character named Talus who uses they, them pronouns, but is a shapeshifter from the fairy and a wizard. Or from the fae, is a fairy. And currently, Talus is occupying the role of a bard called Renton Connolly, who uses he, him pronouns. So I've just thrown every different complicated thing at you. I hope you can keep it all straight. Good luck. Let's get going.
I do my best.
Can I get a clarifying potential answer? So if you are shape-shifting as a bard, do you get, like, bard skills?
No, I don't.
You just
I
like
only...
a rock star, but you can't sing like
it's-
a rock star.
Yeah, my masks are only skin deep. Yeah, as you all well know, I would not be very good at pretending to be a bard because I do not have great musical talents like everyone else at this table.
But not all bards need to be musical, right? You
Exactly.
have this great oratory skills to be.
So
I was gonna say, yeah, right. I just get by on pure charisma, which is totally just like my
I
life.
just kind of feel like the crew needs to go do karaoke now.
Anyway,
Yeah, totally.
this episode, who
That's
knows?
when the truth is going to come out about Renton.
Anyway, let's do a little recap. We recorded our first extra special since the last time we played, so it probably will help me as well. So last time, you all began at the tourney chasing after another one of these mysterious red-robed figures. I had led you past the concourse where you noticed some of the magical booths beginning to degrade or decay, and out onto the docks where you found 2 more of the cultists awaiting to make their escape in a small boat. I should also add, you noticed they had a sack that seemed to be moving that they were running away with. Talus as Renton, oh god, that was terrible. Renton Connolly.
Renton.
That was still
Renton.
terrible. I gotta, man, I
Renton.
will never torture you with a Scottish accent until I can actually do it. Tried to stop them by impersonating a red robe with his cloak of many fashions and demanding they stop in the name of Theobald, which worked until they shouted a passphrase he did not know the answer to. The red robes set loose the aberrations they had gathered at the tourney, threatening a halfling family on the docks, and you all leapt into action to stop them. Talus put the family and 1 creature to sleep, while Galen punched through 2 more to give himself fingerless gloves, and Rivulet charged down the docks on her boyfriend Henry's back before turning into a starry whale to pursue the remaining cultists and their boat. And Drawn failed to hit anything 17 times before running and swimming after her. Really not a good day for him. Poor showing all around. Not all around, for him. Rivulet. I don't know. I don't know if that actually works, but I tried it. Tried
I like it.
Tried several times to breach out of the water and crush the escaping rowboat, but was unable to stop them from returning to Sea Shallow through the tourney portal. The others quickly followed in their own boat and chased after them. In the end, one cultist was killed in the water and left behind as shark bait, and the other two were entangled by Rivulet after Drawn finally hit one in the back with his small axe. You tied them up and sent Drawn to the Scarlet Osprey to find Vec, and after Galen threw salt and balsamic vinegar into the cultists' wounds to interrogate them, Renton's...
Cruel.
So cruel. It really hurts. Like, the balsamic especially, like, stings. Renton's detect thoughts revealed a memory. The three humans you had been chasing meeting a stranger in a tavern who directed them to a safe house in the fourth ring and instructed them to abduct the strange aberrations that began appearing at the tourney, and warned them of consequences if they failed. However, before you could ask this particular person more, the other cultist managed to silence his companion by tackling him onto the axe that Drawn had left sticking in his back, killing him instantly. You took the last one with you back to the Scarlet Osprey, leaving a dead body with an axe in its back for Drawn and Vec to find. And after putting the remaining living one in a cell, eventually Vec arrived and you filled her in. Learning in the process that she is proud of Galen. Galen thinks Vec might be crushed out on him, unclear, and that Vec is not upset with Rivulet, but rather her own history with the king of Notlantis. You made a plan for Vec to stake out the safe house overnight and headed back to the second barracks on the left for a long rest. And that is where we are now. Wow. I feel like a lot happened last time. So you all, at the moment, are safely ensconced back at your apartment in your little suite. There's probably a little leftover fruit in a dirt hole hooch to drink.
Ow, ow.
Is there anything else people want to do or discuss before a long rest? It's been another, like, fairly long day at this point, kind of like later in the evening, and not like absurdly late, but...
I think we probably start teasing Rivulet about her boyfriend. I mean, I'll just speak for myself. I just would tease you a little bit about it. Probably to disguise my own titulation with Vec.
Why would you do such a thing?
It's a way that I try to bond with people, and it doesn't always work super great, but...
Now I just feel awkward and slightly ashamed.
God damn it.
No, it was rather sweet, actually. I mean, leaving him behind at the dock might have stung a bit.
Well, he said he could swim.
I've not seen a centaur swim very... Oh, I'm sure he swam after us. Right.
Well, you've got his social medias, right?
Oh, yes, I have his bubble.
You know, this bubble thing, I don't understand it, but we have a new person who's starting a bubble for my side project.
Oh, what's your bubble? I'll follow it.
What should we decide? It is at the Whisper.
Ooh, I like that one.
Thank you.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah, Renton, do you have a bubble? I just realized I don't have any of you guys. I don't have anyone's bubble information myself.
Well, in fact, it's a bit odd. I don't have a bubble. I rely entirely on word of mouth in order to promote my bardic performances. I'm very well loved at my favorite tavern, but unfortunately, my notoriety does not extend beyond that one tavern. So,
that's so weird.
You know, I was the same. I'm still not sure that I think it's, better than a word of mouth or personal connections.
No, well, I can talk to so many people across the entire archipelago. It's fabulous.
Yeah, how do you think I keep in touch with my parents? I mean, my adoptive parents.
I was going to say that the octopuses, I know they're quite intelligent, but they have their own sort of...
Oh, you have no idea, man.
Nine has their own bubble.
Do they
have more followers than I do, actually.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely following 9.
That makes a small amount of sense.
Anyway.
I'm sure that we'll find Henry again. If you want to.
I'd like that, yes. He's just so cute. And he got me cookies.
Bringing someone cookies is quite a sign.
Well, people bring me whatever I want, really. But he did it with a spark in his eyes, and that was special.
I saw it. You two were all goo goo gaga. It's fine. I think it's great. And I'm glad that we made it all back here. I'm glad that we killed those people.
No,
They were very bad
I
people.
feel that good about it,
they were, but I just
probably deserved it.
Not something that I'm used to, and I'm worried I'm becoming used to it through, I suppose both my line of work and our association and friendship.
It's complex when you get to that place where you have to kill or be killed.
Are we healthy for one another? I've never killed anyone before.
Well, I suppose the undead, it could be argued hardly counted, but
does killing the undead count as taking a life?
Oh. Many theologians have weighed in on this over the years, and at least one side of the argument that I myself understand a little more is that no, those souls are not present in the bodies anymore and did not return to them when they were reanimated. So you're just sort of destroying something that is only, a bit of magical animation, essentially.
Like when you eat magical food.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like a Twinkie or something really processed or something. I don't know.
What's a Twinkie?
I'm gonna shapeshift into my pirate captain Raffles and say, well, in my experience, being a pirate and living the life of piracy, some people just through their actions show you that they want to be dead. And so, we just help them along to their old planned resting place. That's always been my motto. I've never felt too bad about it. Say, Galen, how about a little some of that floor hole hooch? That whenever I get feeling guilty around the people I killed, I just drink a little floor hole hooch and everybody feels better.
There was a pirate on the ship I lived on that used to say that. His name was Tickers. That's so funny.
Tickers.
Raffles, did you ever meet Tickers?
Well, Galen, as you know, I'm not really Raffles. I'm Talus.
Oh, wait a minute. Aren't the people you inhabit, they have like their own history in life? Like it's because you've done shit as them, or no? This just that like bag out of a abyss.
Like I said, just think of it as a very convincing mask I put on. So then I'll shape shift back to Yorick. You see, really, it's just a voice and a face, and that's all there is to it. It's nothing more than just a fancy illusion.
So your like real self is so incomprehensible or something like that? Or did you show us that?
Rivulet's mouth is just hanging open.
So now I'll shapeshift to a version of Talus's true face, which is blue, but it's slightly more beautiful than you remember it being the first time I showed it to you. And
no, show me it without the filter.
The truth is, I don't even know what it's like to live without a filter anymore. I am my masks to some extent.
That's really heavy. I think you need some more floor hooch.
I think I might as well.
I shapeshift back to Raffles. Yeah, that's why I said this in the first place.
Your captain has an interesting philosophy. More Florhooch.
It's gotten me through a lot of sleepless nights. I just kind of the best way to deal with death is to make your peace with it and drink some Florhooch.
Well, don't forget to remind me to bury some more fruits before we go.
Oh, yes.
I'm reminding you right now to bury some fruit.
Oh, thank you so much. So super helpful, Rivulet. Good job.
My pleasure. I love being helpful.
All right, tell your boyfriend.
All right. Takes out her bubble.
Just being helpful with for my friends. Love and like if you want to date me. JK,
I feel like that means I need to invent a good bubble for Henry.
Yeah, I need to think
Hoofy boy. No.
Hoofing it? No.
At Hoofing
He's a nerd.
He's a huge nerd. Okay, we'll think about it. We'll get back to that. So on these heavier thoughts drowned out with Florhooch, you all take a long rest if you have not done that.
Rivulet's not drinking. She's still in pain from the last time she got super drunk and had to cleanse herself.
9 sticks out a little tentacle and dips it into the Florhooch, just oozing down.
Addict.
In the morning, I'm going to say, Galen or whoever is going to remind, roll an intelligence check for Florhooch. See if you remember. It's 20 plus your intelligence modifier.
Well, who's going to do it?
Up to you. Or Rivulet, if you were going to remind.
Yeah, Rivulet.
If you're going to
Rivulet, show us what you got. Here you go.
I need to roll a what?
Add your intelligence modifier.
It's a 9. But I was sober.
All right, roll with advantage.
You didn't sleep very well because I snore loud.
Okay.
13.
Yeah, I'd say with a 13,
I'm daydreaming about my boyfriend.
About Henry and playing on Bubble until late. And with Galen snores, you don't sleep super well, but you do remember in the morning before you all leave.
Oh yeah, it's not quite that she remembers, but she kind of says something that reminds me, and I'm like, "Oh, thanks," and then she's like, "What are you talking about? What's going on?" I have to explain, "Hey, you helped me remember, even though you didn't even try."
Oh yes, the Florhooch.
I'm just so good. I didn't even think about it, and I am still helpful.
It was a psychic helping.
Do you all want to go directly to the safe house or make any stops along the way, or / going in broad daylight versus other time of day?
I'd like to procure a red cloak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I am going to copy the guy that we have in jail, make a mask of him, and I'm going to turn my cloak of many fashions red.
Oh, actually.
And I pick up a red coat as well. It's kind of stained.
I'm going to be an animal. I don't need a red cloak.
Okay.
Not even a little cloak for whatever little
okay, we can get a cute little cloak, animal cloak.
Like a silk one. I think you would get a silk one that's really tiny and you could fold it up really small.
Yeah.
Wow, you are certainly both masters of illusion. I'm sure they'll buy it that you've got a tiny little animal wearing a red cloak. Brilliant subterfuge.
I think
incredible.
It's excellent
They'll
idea.
never see us coming.
Yes. Talus, give me an intelligence check for see how well you can copy this person. And say you can make it with advantage since you have a little bit of time to study him, although he's not making it particularly easy on you.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you wander down to the cells.
Oh, I just nat 20 that, baby.
Yes.
Ooh, it's starting out hot.
So as you all get ready to head out, Talus, you go down to the barracks in these holding cells and you spend a few minutes looking. This guy is just sitting on the little, pallet bed, sort of looking like he's meditating and just mugging you real hard back. It's
Right. So then I'll copy him and be like, how do you like that for an afternoon's work, buddy?
Oh, shit. You some kind of fucking... Who the fuck are you? What the fuck are you?
What the fuck are you?
Me? I know what I am. I'm a human. What the fuck are you? Just exactly
I'm a
why
human.
Your kind
I know exactly what I am.
do not belong here. And we should not... fucking exactly. I fucking knew it. And just,
I know all about your kind.
You don't know shit about us. I ain't telling you nothing.
I know everything I need to know about you, asshole.
Make an intimidation check.
That was only a 9.
He just mugs at you as you leave, just like, and like stands up and kind of moves over close to the door and the little like barred window and just watches you as you go away.
Perfect.
As you guys head out, catching, one of the waiting Scarlet Osprey water taxis, you can definitely find, you already encountered several different clothing shops. And yeah, I'm gonna say like probably 3 silver to get a secondhand cloak for Galen and a fancy little animal shaped silk one for Rivulet.
Can I make Ron pay for it?
Are you bringing Drawn with you?
Ron never lets me leave without him unless I'm running away. It's an automatic.
Fair enough. Yeah, of course. I always carry your money. Don't. It just like steps in between you and the shopkeeper. Here you are. But you mark it off in your inventory.
Damn it. That was...
Like if Drawn is the bank, but it's your money.
How much?
3 silver.
Total?
Or 2 for yours, 1 for Galen. And if you only have
SP?
Yes.
Money. Money makes the world go round.
Manage it, like the little button at the top says manage while you add things, or you can just add like a little custom item down at the bottom, I think.
The world go round.
Money makes the world go round. Go round.
It makes the world go round.
I don't know the rest of it.
Money, 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 money.
Money makes the world go round, the world go round.
Coinage. Anything else along the way? And again, like just going right there or taking some time waiting until later in the day?
I think we should get right there. Because
what else?
And then darkness falls. Is that to our advantage? I don't know. I think we should get there sooner.
I want to be able to see all the stuff.
Yeah, let's head over, but I don't want to just walk up to the front door. Like, we need to do a little bit of pacing the joint.
Maybe we do like a kind of spiral.
Possibly seeing if there's any back entrances, etc.
Spiral approach.
Sure. Yeah, you can take the water taxi to the 4th ring and make your way towards Whalebone Canal, which is a sort of smaller waterway off one of the main canals that cut through the city ring to ring. And this section of the canal nearby is largely residential, small kind of bungalow-style houses packed in wall to wall, kind of like the Outer Sunset, and the occasional shop or tavern built into the ground floor of these. But yeah, you can stop a little distance away and do whatever sort of investigating things you would like to do. Are you sneaking?
No, I think we're like
unobtrusive, being as unobtrusive as possible.
Yeah, unobtrusively casing out the area.
So is there like a front side and a back side of this building? Like it's
you saw it in the vision, right? You're kind of leading the way, ain't you?
That's a good point.
But I only saw the tavern and the meeting, and you learned the location.
Right.
But you do know also that Vec has been there all night and been on watch in theory.
Oh, right. Vec is there already. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, great.
So this is like, this section of the canal is kind of, again, very similar to like Outer Sunset-ish area. There's like, there'd be parallel smaller canals and like the houses lined up section to section. Some of them have like little sort of back areas that butt each other, or like the public aquariums kind of in that space rather than in between blocks, as it were. This one is kind of built like that. So I'm going to say, make a stealth check or a performance check if you prefer, for sort of the unobtrusive casing of the neighborhood.
And so we believe Vec to be inside this building currently.
No, she was going to keep watch a short distance away.
Okay. Are we able to find her?
Give me a stealth check for the unobtrusiveness first, and then everybody can make perception or investigation.
Perfect. Oh, I just failed my stealth check. I got a 4.
Okay.
Well, I got a 9, but do I get anything more?
Where did your dice go?
They're still in the thing.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Oh, man. I don't know if you want to put that one in dice jail. That guy's really not treating you well.
Yeah.
So
wait, what's the modifier? What is it called?
Oh,
it's stealth. So be your
I got
dexterity.
11.
Okay.
Oh, dexterity. Then I got 13.
Okay. And Alistair, when so Alistair somehow, despite kind of looking very out of place, like Alistair is, usually a fairly well-dressed, fairly put-together person. And in the fourth ring, that sometimes stands out. In spite of that, somehow, he's just kind of ultra casually moving through the small crowds that are moving up and down the streets, the canals, and between houses, just effortlessly nodding and greeting people occasionally. And as the rest of you try to emulate this, it's like a little bit of kind of bumping into each other when someone kind of stops to like stare at a reflection in a window and make sure no one's following you, and slight comedy of errors. Galen is, I think, the second most casual here.
Hey. I think I've been here before. I used to. Mm-hmm. There was a phase of my life where I would just kind of wander around when I first came to the island. And I feel like I wandered here like blackout drunk.
Yeah, and it's in the realm of some of your usual patrolling areas in the past. Although you've mostly been on the fifth ring.
And Rivulet is just like in shock that people live in such quality.
It's cramped. It's close together.
Yeah,
like right on top of each other, and just kind of staring open mouth at everything. What is?
Do people really live like this? This is. I hate to say it, but barbaric.
I know. The surface world is. I really wish we could just go home. You don't want to go home.
I don't want to go home. This is a big adventure, and
yes,
it's so much better to see how other people live. Don't you think?
Yes, you're absolutely right, Your Majesty, Your Highness. We should experience other cultures.
Good
just
boy.
Like stomps. What? Just like stomps along after you. Oh, right. And also, so investigation or perception? Oh, yeah.
Looking for Vec. We're trying to run into
looking Vec and general awareness of the
9. I got a 9.
Okay. All right.
But what is the modifier? What is this?
Investigation or perception thing.
Well, I got a +1, so that's a 12.
Okay. Talus?
Maybe I think I see Vec out of the corner of my eye. Ooh, Vec.
We're investigating.
Investigation or perception.
Because you want to be seeing Vec, doesn't it?
Okay. Yeah. I also investigated poorly. I have a 7.
Jeez. Probably.
So you again sort of like bumping into each other slightly, not super well coordinated in this way as you're moving through the neighborhood. You do kind of take a lap around the block. So the safe house itself, you clock very obviously, just like kind of walking by it with your head on a swivel, rubbernecking a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's a smaller, one of the smaller buildings on the block, 2 stories, has like a little fountain-y sort of thing in the front. And like right next to the buildings on either side, so you don't notice any sort of a backyard. There are a few shops in this neighborhood that you pass. There's a tobacconist called Trisinex's, excuse me. There's a carpenter called the Dapper Walnut, and there's a tavern on the corner called the Handy Pirate.
What's a Trisinex's?
The name of the tobacconist.
What is a tobacconist?
Carries tobacco.
Okay.
Has would have like pipes and tobacco and smoking implements and yeah.
And what was the last one?
A tavern called the Handy Pirate.
And what's the Dapper Walnut?
Carpenter.
Okay, great.
And
we go into the tobacconist?
You absolutely can. As you're on the corner, Galen, you see Vec in this position where she can like keep an eye on the safe house, just like leaning on a corner, her brilliantly polished armor like shining in the sun, giant polar bear next to her, and just like very obviously this 8-foot massive frame leaning around the corner to keep an eye, ducking back for a minute, leaning. She's kind of like just across the way from you.
Her stealth check isn't that high either.
In the tavern?
She has disadvantage, and it's like it was horrible. But yes, kind of like across from the tavern.
Okay.
Yeah, like where at the end of this section of the canal, where another perpendicular one would cross through.
She's watching the safe.
She's
house.
watching the safe house. Yeah.
All right.
But yes, you could absolutely go into any of these places if you would like to.
Well, Rivulet's never seen anyone smoking. Or if she has, it hasn't been close up and only in the last couple days. And she's very curious about
it's
baubles.
It's like a little ground floor shop of a 2-story building. The front is this sort of lattice work with a little sign on it that says Trisonex, and a little display.
How do you spell that?
TRISONEX''S. And a like a little sign, and a little display case kind of right behind the lattice work with an array of pipes of various lengths and materials.
I would like a pipe.
That stuff is horrible for you.
I don't know if your father would approve.
It's so beautiful. I can put it in my hair.
Okay, no tobacco, just a pipe.
Sure.
I know you're not smoking.
Do they have other things other than... What is tobacco?
It's a leaf that you burn and inhale. It's a weird surface thing. It's like kind of how we have sea cucumbers and some other things. They have this like vegetable.
I love sea cucumbers.
Yes, who doesn't? I mean, the way that your father's chef makes them is just...
No, I'm talking...
Can we go home?
If you want to go home, you can leave.
No. Sorry. Okay. He holds the door open for you and just ushers you in. So it's a small shop on the inside, a few rows of shelving with jars labeled with sort of different islands, and a little counter at the back with a sort of shorter female tiefling with kind of bright red skin who gives you a friendly wave as you walk in. Hello, welcome.
Oh, hello. I would like one of your fine pipes.
Of course. What sort of length? What sort of material?
Well, you're the expert, so what do you think would match my complexion and aesthetic the most? And she gives a little bit of a flourish.
If money is less of an object for you, then she reaches down into the display case, rummages around for a moment, and pulls up this like sort of God, what is it? Anyway, the one sort of like a S-shaped curve with a big sort of bell mouth at the end, mostly made out of either abalone or mother of pearl. And he goes, well, there's something like this, more sort of iridescent might go, or no, okay, I can see in your eyes it's maybe not what we're looking for. And she puts it back down on the glass.
I'd like
yes, something
that's not white water. I'm there all the time.
Well, there's what about sort of a stone, perhaps?
Something uniquely sea shallow.
Well, I suppose. One moment, and she ducks out of sight again, rummages around. You hear a little bit of noise of stuff clanking, and comes out with one that's been carved out of what looks like coral. This, well, it's not native coral. Most of the coral of Sea Shallow itself has actually been built on or otherwise used, but it is local to the area. So there's a number of reefs just a short sail away, and this came from one of them.
Still water. I want something not water.
Very well. She smiles again and goes over to a different case and comes back, and it's this like extremely gaudy, long, like about a foot long stem, like hematite and gold and inlaid with metals and other small semi-precious stones, and like catches the light and has a little shing.
Yes, that one.
I apologize. I should have known from the beginning. Of course. Well, this one is 10 gold pieces.
And what does it do?
Well, you can smoke out of it, technically. I don't know, honestly, how well some of the metal would hold up under heavy use. But it's also, I suppose, a piece of art if you just wanted to look at it. I wouldn't recommend hitting anyone with it if you were thinking about that.
I don't know if this is the time for trinkets. If it still sticks in your mind after our adventure, maybe you could come back and get it.
Or 10 gold pieces and it's yours, and I'd give you, well, I'd return it to you for 5 if you came back and regretted it.
Alice, what do you think?
Alice, what have you been doing? You're
I believe
spaced
you
out
mean
over
our
there.
friend Renton.
Oh, Renton. What do you think?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Well, as Renton Connolly, I think more smoking is always a good idea. I think that particular smoking device is possibly a bit more fragile and fancy than I would want for my purposes, but it's certainly a very stylish piece.
Yeah, we all know, Talus, Renton, you're really into the water pipe stuff. You love a water pipe. We get it.
Wait, what's a water pipe?
Oh, I do have
you
some
don't
of
want
those.
one. You didn't want one. Don't worry about it.
Oh, and I have a follow-up question. Do you have things other than tobacco?
Well, this is a tobacconist's, so it is mostly tobacco and things for smoking tobacco with.
But do you have anything? See, I'm not allowed to have tobacco, but maybe there's something else.
Well,
she gives a big pout and looks at Dron.
I'm sorry, I don't know a lot about your species. Are you of age?
Oh,
Dron
yes.
just immediately said, No, don't sell her anything to smoke, please.
She glares at Dron.
I said I would look after you, and it includes the health of your lungs.
Has this most dead eye, I hate existence. I can't have any fun look on her face.
The tiefling just gives you a big wink.
If I gave you 10 whole coins, if Dron gave you 10 whole coins,
we can buy the decorative pipe.
And then she's like, big wink to the tiefling.
Dron reluctantly pulls out the money pouch, starts counting out 10 gold, and she hands you this very ornamental pipe. Goes, do come visit another time.
Great.
Dron just glares between both of you. Anything else?
No, I'm bored. Let's go.
Well, we have certainly blended in with the neighborhood. No, there's no way anyone could suspect us of doing anything sneaky or nefarious. Should we go and have a chat with Vic? Would that be comfortable for everyone?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Dron just looks suspiciously after you, Rivulet, as you just hustle outside and begin heading back towards where you saw Vec. Actually, I think both of you, Talus and Rivulet, your passive is enough to beat Vec's terrible, truly awful stealth roll. So you return to the corner, and she looks up and gives you all a nod as you approach. Galen, Rivulet.
Vec?
Vec's hanging out at the tavern?
Kind of right across from it where she can keep an eye on the safe house, yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, go ahead, Galen.
Renton.
Hello, Vic. We were wondering if you've seen anything suspicious around the safe house.
Not all night. Vic, keep watch.
We're thinking of going inside and rustling around. What do you think?
We could ask that very friendly shopkeeper. I should go back and ask that very friendly shopkeeper if they have any information about what's going on.
Make a deception check at disadvantage.
Oh my God. So teenager. I love it.
12 plus what perception?
Deception.
That's 16.
That's a 4 plus probably. I not beating it. Drawn is just like, yes, that seems information gathering, of course.
Drawn, why don't you hang out with Vec and Galen?
Yeah.
Talus, would you like to come with me to investigate this shop for a moment?
No, I'm gonna hang with Vec.
Yeah, okay.
And then let's once you do that, we'll break in there and rustle around, right? I mean, that's what I thought we were coming for.
Yeah.
And I was really looking forward to it.
Vec thinks so too.
I love rustling around in people's places, you know?
She just like puts a hand on Drawn's shoulder as he starts following you as you leave. Drawn, stay with Vec. Keep watch. No one in or out.
All right, then.
All right.
Let's go, princess. Let's make this quick. I'm sure there's something we can get out of it, but we've not got all day.
Rivulet, practically skips over to the shop.
The door rings, the little jingle of a bell again, and the tiefling looks up. Oh, that was... Well, here. And she pulls out a small leather pouch. She goes, it's not tobacco. It's really not going to do anything. It's not psychoactive in any way. It just... a little bit of smoke, sort of, to inhale.
There a flavor?
Yeah, something of one. It's sort of a floral, herbaceous. It depends on the blend, but I thought you would like this one.
Oh, thank you. And I actually had a follow-up question.
Of course.
Have you noticed any suspicious activities regarding any, at all, or having to do with some beings with red cloaks?
Oh, well, I mean, I've heard some of the stories about them. I know they've been seen around the city, and I think, I had a neighbor who has this sort of new thing that it's a looks like a sending stone, but it only receives, and there's this sort of, I don't know, send cast, I think they call it, and there's something about them, but I don't know much myself, and around here, well... I suppose, just that, there's a house down the street that's been empty for a couple months.
And you haven't noticed any suspicious activity around an empty building for a few months?
Oh, my dear, I mostly keep to myself. I'm quite content to be here with my shop and occasionally out with friends.
I'm going to roll for insight.
Go for it.
19.
She seems to be telling the truth.
Ugh. All right. Well, thank you for being such a dear.
So, just to be clear, the person with this sending stone, was this person staying in the house that's now been abandoned?
Oh, no. It's a friend of mine in the third ring, actually.
Oh, what is this sending stone? What did they say?
Does this person wear a red cloak themselves?
I mean, only to match the rest of their outfit. You're not suggesting they're one of these strange religious people. I would.
Well, do they ever take this red cloak off?
Yes, of course.
Do you ever see them?
They are quite fashionable. They have an array of cloaks in several colors, and they are in autumn, so red sort of suits them.
I see. All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, of course. And I'm sorry.
Thank you for being such a dear.
Someone else had a question also.
Oh, what was the stories on the sending stone that you heard?
Oh, yes. Well, so it's only receives. You can't actually send anything, and there's some person or other group of people I don't know that seem to just say what's going on in the city, and there was something on it about both the tourney, of course, and something about these red robes. I don't have one. Yeah, you look over, Alistair. Alistair just has this totally deadpan and slightly angry look in his face, shifting his eyes a little bit. But I've heard that they're not as expensive as actually a set of sending stones or anything like that, so I might look into one.
I say get one.
Well, I'll certainly keep it in mind. Is there anything else I can do for you all?
No, thank you.
Well, it was lovely to meet you. Thank you for coming by.
And as they walk out, Rivulet's like, Alistair, why are you upset?
Oh, I didn't want to say that was actually my business, hobby, job. I'm not something like that. But
You're the one behind this whole sending stone fad then, are you? Well done.
You're
Thank
a
you, thank you very-
trendsetter.
Oh, well, I would hope so. It's small. We only have about 40 or so listeners throughout the city so far, but
Maybe you should ask Rivulet to promote it on her bubble. I've heard she's quite an influencer.
Well, I would never presume to take advantage of our friendship that way.
No, it's pish posh.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You all wander back down the street towards Vec and Drawn, who kind of like look back up. Vec think time to bust door down. Alistair holds up his like almost brand new lockpicks.
Oh, yeah, I don't think we should be quite so obvious. I think going in the subtle way may behoove our purposes more effectively.
Wait a minute. Vec's been watching, right? No one's there. It's abandoned.
I'd like to roll investigation for like an open window or a chimney or some kind of 17.
Let Alistair use his picklock skills. He needs practice. He's got a long way to go in expertise.
Harder than we need to. Rivulet, go check it out. That's a great idea. I'll go with you.
I rolled a 19 on my investigation.
So it doesn't. The as you get a little closer, the door is closed and appears to be locked. There are windows, but this being a essentially tropical climate, there's not a chimney as it's not necessary, but there is definitely, you notice sort of some skylights and maybe like an open area above the roof as you approach.
I turn into a cat.
Okay.
And I climb up and then down through the skylight, and I would paw at the door and the locks with a miraculous jump. Because I'm a cat and I can do that shit.
Make an acrobatics check as a cat. Do you get you should get a bonus for that.
You at least get
yours,
advantage.
Cats get a 15 dexterity. Plus 2.
Higher than yours? Let me.
I have 14 plus 2. Oh, so I have 16. And cats are 17.
That's the sound a computer makes, by the way.
Absolutely, the sound.
Beep, boop, beep, boop,
my
beep.
tablet really doesn't look like. Okay.
For all you listeners out there,
yes,
Kaya just rolled an 8.
Big ol' 8. The 8 mates.
I just relied on my.
So the rest of you see, and Talus, as you kind of hang back with Vec and Drawn, you watch Galen and Rivulet approach, kind of like look at the house for a minute. Rivulet just suddenly shrinks down into a cat and begins climbing up the side of the building. Disappears over the top and inside. So Rivulet, what you see as you kind of pass through very quickly, upstairs, as you're just kind of like trying to go directly down towards the door. So you land in a little sort of like office area, smaller size room that has like a desk and a chair and a small kind of pallet bed in the corner. Immediately like downstairs, there is a larger common area with a door. And as you see the handle, leap as a cat and just scrabble helplessly against the door. So you leap up, scratch, and like drop back down your claws.
I give a big wail of a.
Galen, outside, you just hear the sound of this cat wailing from the other side of the door.
Oh, little boy, little pussycat. That's what you get for climbing in chimneys. Alistair, get them locked. Get the this is your moment. All right. Get the lockpicks.
Alistair just comes running down the street, like scrabbling to pull the lockpicks out. Does he? I was looking to see if he had expertise, and I don't think he does. I think he just.
No, it's a new hobby.
Well, yeah. So he does.
Rocky's been teaching him.
Proficient.
Yeah, you know that the tooler is good when their tools are all old and gross and rusty, and when they're shiny and new, it's not a good sign.
I was.
Do you have any rusty old things?
was
I want
trying.
to be a cat.
Spatula.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
not talking about cat. Yeah, I was going.
Alistair pulls out his lockpicks, slides them in. It takes a few seconds, but quickly you hear a little click, and he pulls the door open. On the other side, you see a very upset, starry-formed cat and the common area of the house.
Hello, thank you so much for listening to our wild and wacky tales. Fenner here, just asking you to apply your support to us in the form of leaving us a 5-star review on our podcast platform. Of course, follow us on social media so you never miss a release date, and maybe, tag us in some pictures that remind you of us. That's at the Roll Report Cast. At the Roll Report Cast on Instagram, on TikTok. All right. And hey, we've got a Patreon. Did you know that? If you sign up for our Patreon, you get special perks, premium content, ad-less podcast listening pleasure, and you'd never have to hear me say this message again. Back to the show.
What kind of cat are you anyway?
I
This is a very important
Yeah.
question.
cat.
Okay. It's like a black cat
So dark
Little-
black, it almost looks blue.
and like little
Little stars.
yeah, I was gonna say like
Aw.
little like glowing starry
Yeah.
sort of white
But,
patches of fur.
I think our
Drooling.
Instagram has a cat version
Oh,
of
it
all our
does.
characters.
You follow us
What?
at the Roll Report Cast to see the cat
seen
version.
that one of me. Or
I think it's one of
Galen.
it's either there or it's on our TikTok. Anyway, follow us on social media to
Kitty cat
find the
Galen.
cat version of Rivulet
all the characters.
and all the characters. So beyond this angry Rivi cat is a larger sort of common area, like a couch and a small coffee table, the window to the outside, and passageways to the rest of the house. I think the simplest thing to say is everybody give me an investigation check. I'm going to say investigation rather than perception since you are like really trying to comb through the house.
13.
4 plus
I got a 7.
6.
Okay. Alistair, right. He's very good at that. Alistair rolls 25.
What?
He's a rogue and this is what he's supposed to do.
Brag.
Anyway,
Oh,
well, and
Glad you're
having
on our
said that,
team.
so you all kind of spread out through the house. Rivulet, you immediately get kind of distracted, like in the kitchen, like looking through, trying to hide it from Drawn, but look through this pouch of smoking herbs that you were just given. And like it smells both floral and kind of herbaceous, as the shopkeeper said, like little bits of like kind of delicate.
Are there any herbs in the kitchen?
What you find in the kitchen, there is kind of a standard setup, if you will, and it doesn't look like there's been any food made here. You find kind of like little sort of cardboardy and paper takeout containers that have piled up a little bit in a trash can, and no, there's like no. Well, there's probably salt in a cupboard in the back of a
But
cupboard
no,
somewhere.
like oregano or
No,
Okay.
it doesn't look like it's been actually like used hardly at all.
Okay.
Well, I start looking around, but
Hmm.
then I kind of catch a little kind of whiff of something in the air, and I turn just as Rivulet repockets that tiny little baggie of stuff, so it completely distracts me, which is why I rolled so low. And I go to Rivulet and I say, "Hey, what do you got there? Let me smell it. Let me make sure it's not something toxic that lady gave you."
Don't tell Drawn.
I won't
And then
tell,
she
I
takes
won't
it
tell
out.
anybody.
And she shows it to Galen.
Roll a nature check.
I love that we are in this tween.
Oh, nat 20. That's when I
Amazing.
roll it. Wow.
So Galen, you take a whiff. It is.
Oh, yeah, I see it. There's lavender and rose petals.
Mhm.
That's fine to smoke. Mullein, I see that. Yeah. I'm going to guess some colt's foot too. This is just an anti-smoking mix that people smoke when they want to quit smoking tobacco. Smells really old also. Really old.
It's probably better for you than, getting hooked on tobacco.
Relaxing, though.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You could just...
I imagine it is. It sounds like Tracing X has got your best interest at heart there, which is indeed heartening.
But, you better putting it in a little satchel and throwing it in with your under things and your clothes. That's going to serve you more than if you smoked that mixture.
It gets really, disappointing.
I mean, you can still smoke it, okay? We'll smoke a little bit of it. I'll show you how to blow a smoke ring.
It's not tobacco, so it's probably not as harmful to the lungs.
Yeah, and I just wanted to make sure she didn't put anything, weird.
Alice, I think I found something.
Oh.
Alice
Excellent.
is sticking his head in hearing this discussion about tobacco. So yeah, the rest of it looks like to all of you, it looks pretty much like the there's not been anyone here recently. From Vex's observation, there hasn't been anyone in or out that she saw. And as you look around, you kind of confirm this. Alistair heads upstairs, and there is in this kind of smaller second bedroom office. He points at a couple things that he's noticed on the floor, and he points down. You see, Talus, there is little sort of couple of red threads that look very similar to, more to like the ones from, Galen's cloak, since yours is a magical cloak and the substance of it is a different make and model, but seems to match the color that you have seen. And he also finds a little scrap of leather. And he holds it up and kind of goes, I think this is sort of like the one that they released those creatures from. No, it was like the right color and everything. Something like that. And, well, they have a good vantage point from this window over here. And if you look at the windowsill there, there's a little bit of this, it's this very fluffy white sort of tobacco ash, actually. And, well, I happen to know someone who likes this sort of brand. It's called Cloudhead, and it's from the Northern Islands. It's actually produced on one of the islands that is most populated by humans.
Is it sold in that tobacco shop, you think?
Well, it certainly might be. It's not uncommon. It's, it might be more coincidental than anything else, but the fact that it is made in that general region, and it suggests that perhaps someone from there was here smoking it. I do have to think that the tobacconist was telling the truth. I'm also reasonable at reading people myself, and I don't believe she had any reason to hide anything from us. I could be wrong, of course, but... Well, it looks like they did indeed stay here, but whoever was here has vanished in a bit of a hurry, I would say. Do you...
Right. So, the key question here is, I remember in the vision when I was detecting this fellow's thoughts that the person they were speaking to demanded that they return with these fiendish little devil soccer balls that were attacking that poor family of halflings that we saved. Presumably, these people wanted to collect these devil balls, if you will. And so I wonder, were they supposed to meet here? Maybe it's worth us staying here overnight and keeping watch in case someone comes to collect, and then we could,
That's
take
a great
them,
idea. I think
capture them, and then find some answers.
If we're going to do that, then we better hunker down before it gets dark, because we don't want anyone to think that people are here seeing a light glowing on inside. We don't know actually how many eyes. There might even be people might have seen us come in.
Well,
I don't know. Vec was watching pretty well.
She does seem to have good eyes, and
still, I
She
think
has lovely eyes, doesn't she?
Well, that's not important to the present situation. But yes, she does. We're pausing to talk about Vec's eyes. They are glorious abysses of interdimensional knowledge and wisdom and kindness, but like a firmness to it. And it's really not important. But I kind of think there's a bit of a hue of purple. Last time I looked, I said There's a little purple in there, I think. And I love purple.
I
and
think
it's not
hearing
really,
you wax poetic like this, I no, please continue.
It's not
Tell me
important.
about the shine of her armor.
No, it's not important. Just that there's like a kind of a glint that ever so fancily dances. Whatever light might glance across its flashy shine and just so moist.
You see,
round.
Alistair has just pulled out a notebook and is like quietly writing this down.
But wait, listen, that's beside, whose side are you on, man? You're distracting me.
Oh, yes,
If we're
of course.
going to hide here and see if someone else shows up,
Okay.
then we ought to be cognizant of the impending darkness of the evening and, just hunker down and don't turn on any lights or anything. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you should definitely put the red cloak around my glowing body. The tiny one that
I'm sorry, if you're still a cat, you can't speak.
Oh.
I had assumed when you went to go deal with the
All
tobacco
that
pouch and
came out
stuff,
is-
you had turned back into Rivulet. Yes, just like this cat here.
Oh.
I mean, you can wild shape again. I think you have 2 per day.
But it's going to turn into night. We're all going to go to sleep.
No, we're not going to sleep. We're keeping watch.
I mean, you can go to sleep.
Yeah,
What
We're gonna
should
do
we
rounds.
tell? What should we tell Vec and Dron? We want
Well,
them
I
to
think we
keep.
should ask Beck to keep watching out for us, and maybe they can have a special signal or flash a little light into if someone's coming, and
We'll have her hoot. Well, we'll hoot to her once like a brown owl and twice like a barn owl.
wait, how does a brown owl sound though?
Oh, just
Is
like
it
a brown owl sounds.
"Woo," or is it more like a "whoo"?
That's like,
I
whoo, whoo.
Don't know that
Woo!
I've ever seen an owl outside of captivity. They're not
Woo!
native to the city.
Woo-hoo.
What is an owl?
A "woo-hoo."
It's
They
it's
sound-
An owl is a beautiful bird that flies around at night silently capturing vermin and eating them.
Ooh.
No, they sound like "whoo." It's like a "whoo."
Right,
So-
right. That's more of a barn owl.
Ah,
Like the brown owl is like, whoo.
At the office.
And then the barn owl is like,
that's where I
"Woo."
found all these things. Yes.
I was busy not paying attention and
It's-
smelling smells.
I'm sure they were wonderful smells.
yeah, lavender, rose.
Talus, if I may, the thing I'm not able to do is investigate magically. Is that something that you could do today? Or do we need to wait until the morning?
I think that's an excellent idea. Let's do a little bit of magical investigation, shall we? So I will detect magic as a ritual.
Okay. While you take your 10 minutes to ritual cast, Alistair kind of quickly heads outside, tells Vec and Dron to remain in, and you hear an attempt at an owl coming from the few doors down where it is. I think it's sort of a hoo and a hoo hoo. All right, cool, sure. Comes back. Talus, roll an Arcana check, please.
Arcana. That is an 18.
All right. So
My arcane knowledge is excellent.
your arcane knowledge is excellent. So a few minutes later, as you kind of open your magical site, the various small magical items and things that your companions have glow faintly too. You also, in the office, as you kind of take the little time to move around the house again, in the office is 2 faint magical traces. And you only get them because of that 18. There's the faintest whiff, there's this tiny little remnant of what was once maybe a sigil or a rune on the floor of conjuration magic. And from up in the corner, a much stronger sense of divination. And with that 18, what you know is that this conjuration thing, it another few minutes maybe, and you wouldn't have even been able to tell it was there at all. So it happened probably, almost 12, 24 hours ago. And the divination is strong enough that it's as if a spell has just ended.
Whoa. All right. Friends, based on my magical investigations, I have discerned that people have been here far more recently than it may otherwise have appeared. Both a conjuration and divination spell have just worn off in the space. Therefore, it shows that there may have been spells cast here as recently as a day ago, or they have possibly just worn off a day ago. So this may mean that someone was recently here, or that whatever spells were being cast over this place have now been abandoned and are no longer needed. So this may mean no one is coming here. This may mean the building is abandoned entirely, but I still think it's worth staying overnight and seeing if anything happens. I also think it might be worth getting some of this Cloudhead tobacco as part of our subterfuge. If anyone does come, maybe they'll be expecting to smell this Cloudhead tobacco.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
I thought you might be into
I
this.
must say I'm withdrawn on this. I don't think you should start smoking. We can certainly acquire some as part of the subterfuge and the ruse, if you will, but...
I say let her smoke. It's probably going to be horrible for her, and we'll just make her smoke a lot. Really
What's the difference between smoking and drinking?
Oh, one is air, and the other is a liquid.
I mean, I'm sorry, do you mean in terms of the harmful effects to your body, or like the literal...
Well, you don't seem to have a problem with me drinking any of the hooch or ales that have been going round, and...
Well, I suppose I can't argue with that in a lot of ways. Not been the best sort of guardians, I suppose. No, I suppose alcohol is sort of a shorter lasting effect. It's unless you overindulge frequently and regularly, which I've not seen you do yet, the likelihood of lasting damage that would need to be, cured by a cleric or some such is much lower. And whereas I'm led to understand that tobacco is both addictive and quite harmful, although I don't know about your specific anatomy's lung structures.
So a cleric could just fix it all?
Well, it's quite an expensive spell to have
Daddy can, if he cares enough.
Look, I think just to redirect us back towards the question of whether or not we should stay here overnight, and certainly quiet tobacco that will not be smoked.
But the whole idea is that the smell would be in the space.
Well, yes, perhaps Talus or myself or Galen could do the smoking. We'll get our own pipe so we don't use your rather fancy one.
Y'all are hypocrites.
This is a very different tactic than what I was proposing, which was to lie in wait. So they walk in what they think is an empty home. But now the proposition is let's fill it up with tobacco smoke, indigenous to the area of the people whence we might be, what is it called? Ambushing?
I don't know if it was fill it up so much as
just... So, my hypothesis with this subterfuge is that the people that will be coming to this house are the people who have charged the Red Cloak ruffians with returning the soccer balls of doom, the demonic soccer balls, to them, having charged them with retrieving them from the Colosseum. Therefore, they will be expecting Red Cloaks to be inhabiting the building rather than merely sitting silently doing nothing.
I agree. I mean,
honestly, though, I think this debate is rather academic. They'll either come or they won't. Whether or not they're smelling tobacco smoke will maybe only make the slightest bit of difference about whether they're convinced or not.
Listen, Talus, you need to live into your desires. All right? If you want to get that tobacco, just go ahead and get it. You're right. We can make it look like a bunch of Red Cloaks are here having a meeting, waiting for someone, and hey, maybe they will show up, and maybe we'll be perfectly poised.
Right then. I'll go and just get that from Tracenex back in a moment, and then we'll begin our vigil.
Right. I think between all of us and our friends outside, we should be well equipped to pass the night and keep watch. Right. Yeah, Talus, you step out, moment of minutes, Renton. Renton, Talus.
I mean, we're all alone in this abandoned thing. We can call him Talus in this situation, right? I'm learning, right? I'm learning.
Anyway.
I think everybody gets what's going on here. I mean, technically, if you address me in front of other people, you will blow my cover by calling me Talus, or at the very least confuse them. So, but if you're just, especially if the DM is just talking to me as my character, it's fine to call me Talus.
I'm trying to be aware as the DM, and I'm also trying to be aware as Alistair when it's necessary. But yeah, you step out back to the tobacconists. It takes just a couple moments, and I would say, like an ounce of, there's the many jars of different tobacco with different islands. You would notice, I think, just, your passives are high enough that more of them are from islands that you would recognize as being closer to sea shallow. This stuff is a little more expensive and is kind of in this section that seems like it's the rarer herbs and tobaccos that the shop has. But as an ounce of it is probably about a gold piece, and you can get varying quantities of it depending on how much you'd like.
Right. I'm sure a quarter is more than enough.
Okay. So that's 2-3 silver.
Very well. I have deducted it from my inventory.
Okay.
Now, I have a question about an ability I have, or a action I have, the divine sense.
Yes.
Right? I would love to use this divine sense throughout our stay this evening while we're staking out in this apartment. So how long does that divine sense last? Do I have to choose a time?
I'm going to look it up.
Could it be that I'm like, turn on the divine sense all night? Baby, got that.
I think no. If it's an action, that usually means it would last for the length of an action if you were in combat, sort of thing.
So that's
so
like
I think
a minute or something
6 seconds per
6
round.
6 seconds.
But let me.
Can you prepare it so it's ready for when to activate? When something happens.
Yeah. Okay. So as an action, you can open your awareness to detect powerful good or evil, and until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead. So yeah, so it lasts one round of combat essentially. So when you can activate it.
All right, so I can't really use it right now.
You have 5 times per long rest. So you could just kind of, but it doesn't last very long.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna wait till maybe the wee hours of the morning or something like that.
Okay.
But I'll have that on the back burner. Try to preemptively sense if anyone's coming our way.
Okay.
Unless you all have a suggestion there, Renton or Rivulet, of when I can use my divine sense. I'm all ears. Except I'll sense with my whole body, not just my ears.
Don't have any particular intuitions about that. Just, go with the flow, I will say.
No.
Well, what time is it now? What are we looking at time-wise? How close are we to sundown?
I mean, you had a brief stop along the way, but you guys went pretty much straight there. You have kind of the rest of, I would say, the afternoon at this point. Kind of getting to the safe house and searching the area and searching the house itself. It's like mid-afternoon by now. But yeah, with tobacco acquired, you can stake out the house, try to make it look as unoccupied as you would like. And there's enough time also to kind of if you want to hide yourselves well throughout the house, sort of thing. Yeah.
I would like to sleight of hand some tobacco. Well, that was
14.
Well, it hit.
All right, sure.
Yeah, it's your own grade.
I mean, yeah.
10.
Renton, you're kind of sitting there keeping an eye on the front door, and you feel Rivulet just start patting you down, trying to find the pouch of tobacco.
I gently push her hand away. I believe we have not given any permission for that, young
Yeah, what would Henry
princess.
say if you were feeling up Renton, man?
I was just curious on how a changeling might feel if you were, solid or not.
Alistair just starts
I
laughing in
am
the corner.
well aware of what you're interested in, and it has nothing to do with the shape of changelings. Anyway, I set myself up next to the window where we found the ash in the first place.
Okay.
As my understanding is that this provides a good vantage over the alley to see if anyone is approaching.
Rivulet turns into a cat and takes a cat nap on his lap.
Nice.
I mean, you can roll for how cute a cat you're being.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know. You want to roll for meows.
I'm rolling for meows. I'm not a very cute cat. I got a 4.
I think...
luckily, Talus loves all cats regardless of how cute they are. And so Talus begins petting you.
The rivulet is just like kneading you, like making some real pointy, sharp biscuits like directly into your legs the entire time.
Ow, ow, kitty, gentle. No, I'm not biscuits. I'm a person, or what? An elf, maybe.
Galen, where do you want to set yourself up?
Well, I think I actually go into the kitchen.
Okay.
I'm in there scrounging around, and I find some different things left behind. Some dry goods, a can of sweetened condensed milk. And
I mean, if you want to cook some chef's treats, you're cooking some chef treats, but I think I already said there was fucking nothing in the kitchen.
What?
No, but I was looking for some herbs and there was
top
nothing.
Of the fridge.
All right, just Rivulet got very distracted with like the tobacco
I'll
and the
roll
herbs.
for it.
Sure, yeah, roll it, rolling and just actually roll a pure luck check. Let's see what's left behind. Oh, yeah. So it's like the tallest shelf in the back of like the kitchen cupboards. You find like the last little bits of canned dry goods that whoever had left behind. You're not entirely sure. But yeah, I'd say with a 17, you can find the things you're looking for. What do you?
Meow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I find it. And then I make some little treats. So we'll have them for a little while. And they may save your life later. All right.
Yeah. Alistair climbs out one of the skylights and goes to take a little place on the roof. So, with you all in place, a little bit of cloudhead scented tobacco drifting through the house, and everyone keyed up for watch. We're going to pick up there next week. Not even as big of a cliffhanger as I was hoping. I don't know about hoping, but
Yeah.
we sing at the end. Judgy?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I mean, it's judgment of myself. I should set up a better fucking cliffhanger next time. Anyway, thank you all for joining us once again. You can find us on the interwebs at various places. Kaya, where can people find you on the interwebs?
On Instagram at KAYAMEYY.
Check me out. All Fenner all the time. All Fenner. ALLFENNER.
My magical spells and Warhammer miniature painting is at Ben_Rogue on Instagram.
Fucking dope painting too. You should check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some new stuff coming out. I've been painting a lot of new people.
You can follow my cats that frequently interrupt our sessions at No Good Cats. Like and follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at The Roll Report Cast. You know what's going to be happening.
Glad you came to
Fenner,
us.
I hear you've got a dope show in like March.
Hey, yeah, you heard right. You must have been cleaning out your ears every morning and night, because it's true. I will be playing a really fun role at Ye Old Shotgun Players. What are they called? Theater at Ashby Stage, which is right
Yeah.
across from the Ashby Bart. I will be in a Shakespearean production of.
Ooh.
I turned into Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Of Midsummer Night's Dream.
Fucking good Sean Connery.
It's because it's based on what they did on Saturday Night Live.
Come.
Not based on a real person.
If you're in the Bay, come check out Shotgun Players. See Fenner. If you're not in the Bay, just
Midsummer
fucking
Night's
come to the Bay.
Dream.
It's cool.
Who are you playing?
I'm playing.
You're sitting on a gold mine, Trebek.
You're sitting on a gold mine.
Who are you playing?
I'm playing one of the lovers. Oh, the lover that is. Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Ah, no spoilers. Do you know the actual dates? It's March, right?
Bam,
Bam, bam.
Calendar checking.
Now,
Calendar.
what's funny is that I didn't actually put the show dates in my handwritten planner.
Check out
But it's
Shotgun.
March and April.
March and April, check out Shotgun Players. Come see Fenner in a Shakespearean production. If you live in the Bay, and if you don't live in the Bay, just come visit.
Weep.
It's cool here. Yeah, weep, because it's not as cool. I don't know.
And then get a freaking ticket before air travel is prohibitively expensive.
Also that. I think
Who
that
knows? It
about...
might be by that time.
It might be.
Take a road
It might
trip.
be.
I don't know.
Road trips
Hitchhike.
are lovely. It'll be a beautiful weather for it. And like we always do, a 5, a 6,
Yep.
a 5,
Yep.
6, 7, 8.
Yep.
Ba,
Yep.
ba, da, da, ba, ba, da,
Da, ba, ba, da, da, da.
ba, ba, da, 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 ba,
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 da, da,
Boom,
da,
boom, boom, boom.
da, 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 da.
Boom, boom.
ba, ba, da,
I
da,
want
da,
to get
da.
some tobacco now.
Tobacco.
But nobody wants me to smoke.
Nobody wants me to smoke.
Nobody wants me